finally grown. So we are blessed and highly favored because our forefathers set a plan for us to always try to be together. So going forward, we're going to try to keep this thing going in the spirit of love. So I just wanted to get it started, and I'm going to hand it off to the MC for today, our cousin, Danny. You got it?
Hello, family. Hello, family. Come on now, y'all get loud in there. Hello, family. So Little Mac is Big Mac. Y'all heard that? It's been a lot of years since we got together. There's a lot of faces that I know, some that favors others, but it's good to come together again. So we're going to try to move very quickly here so we can start mingling, and I don't know about you, I'm getting a little hungry. So we got plenty of food. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Clay Scruggs, even though he tried to sit down on me real quick. He's going to give us the occasion, and then after that we're going to have Uncle Dave, who is the patriarch of our family. The patriarch of our family is Garfield Davis G. Nicholson. So we're going to turn over to Clay, and he'll give us the occasion. We'll go from there.
Man, I thought you said 2 minutes. Hey, y'all. Hey, family. Hey, listen. I want y'all to take just 1 second and look around at all this beauty. This is real family right here. What happened a couple of years ago? My mom passed away during COVID, and we were there. So we got a trip together to go to Indianapolis because we missed you guys. And that's us that's what I heard a couple of years ago. We decided we were trying to get something together because growing up, this is what we did, and we listened. So we want to try to do it again, and listen, young people. We want y'all to kind of pick up the baton and kind of let's just keep this going in here, whether it's here, or whether it's in Indianapolis, because family is very important. You know, this wall here, this is the beginning of us. And these are the 7. So this right here, this gentleman right here was born on the edge of slavery. So you see where our roots started. They had 7 beautiful children. And then, of course, my mom, my grandmother, we came from all of that. So look at your name tags, take some time and try to introduce yourself to everybody, because everybody in here is family. So, who am I handing this off to now? Oh, I gave it back to you.
I didn't know how long you were going to take. So we'll ask everybody, if you would, please stand. We're going to ask Uncle Dave to ask the grace over the food, and then we will proceed in some type of orderly fashion to getting the food. We'll let Cousin Annette give us some direction on that.
Good afternoon. It's a blessing to be here. And I'm so happy. I am so happy to see all of you all. God has been good to all of you. Will you join hands together, please? Father in heaven, the one who made us and created us, we come right now and say thank you for this another privilege and another opportunity that you have let us gather in your name. Then we ask your Heavenly Father, if it's your will, bless each and every one of us at the sound of our voice. Then, oh Heavenly Father, we ask you to bless this food for the nourishment of our body for Christ's sake. We do pray. Amen. And thank you, Jesus.
All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start with these potatoes first.
So we're going to move on with the rest of the program, and once that's done, then we can continue to mingle and do some other things, okay? I apologize, I want to make sure I get this in there because Annette told me when I was doing this to make sure it was there, I forgot it. At the end, before we bust up and start mingling, we want to make sure we get a big family photo, okay? One big family photo for our history and our prosperity. We'll figure out how to shrink clay so we can get everybody in. All right. So right now we're going to have a memorial tribute to the Big Seven. Sandra's going to talk about what she set up for us over here. Then after that we'll move on with the matriarch recognition. Our matriarch is Margaret Dean Davis Wilson Campbell. I think I got them all. Mama did. All right. So let's take care of the memorial here, and then we'll come back and talk about the matriarch and patriarch.
Good afternoon. So, hello? So what I did, I went through Louis and brought some of Grandma's albums to the house, and then I started going through them, and I saw all those pictures, and those are some of the pictures that you guys see on the Facebook group. And so what I did, I decided to do a memorial because if there were 7 people here, wouldn't none of us be sitting here writing that. And so I wanted to do something to contribute because they are the reason we're doing this today, and hopefully we'll continue to do this because family is everything to me. It means everything to me. I love my family. Yeah, I could cry. But each one of them has a candle, and I got the names on each candle to represent all 7 of them. Just come up and look at it. Okay. Because I'm emotional right now.
So y'all give Sandra a hand. She took some time to put this together. You know, we have to remember our heritage, as Clay was talking. If it wasn't for those 2 at the top and being born post-slavery, none of us would be here today. So we have to honor our heritage. So right now we're going to move into the matriarch recognition. I was hoping that Dean would be here, but we heard that she is ill. Unfortunately, she has the dastardly COVID, I believe is what they said. So let's pray much for her because, you know, this COVID thing, when it was raging, it was taking people out of here left and right. Thankfully, it's still raging, but we're handling it under grace. So let's just continue to pray much for her. We will have something for Dean, because this Margaret thing messes with me. So if somebody from the Dean family, representative, come on up top. Come on, Lee, because you're taking care of it, so you might look on it. Lee is staying with Mom, keeping Mom going, and all the sisters are doing everything they can to support her. So what we have is a certificate here. It says Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is proudly presented to Margaret Dean Campbell. The best honor you can give to anyone is to show respect for their time. Your ancestors have brought you to the stage of life. Some of the most precious things you possess are your honor. Your honor, your dignity, and your reputation. August 12, 2023, presented by the Davis family. Now we get to recognize the patriarch. I don't know if I want to do this or not. Because he talks to me all the time. I'm glad I live an hour from home and have to drive that far to work, because that's when I talk to him. Because when you get on the phone, If anybody talks to Uncle Dave on the phone, you're on the phone for a few hours. So we're glad that he is our patriarch. Chandra, how old is Uncle Dave? Speak up, speak up. So he's 85. I should have asked this, how old is Dean? Well, no, they both the same age. They were twins, huh? So Uncle Dave, come on up. You got to. You know, when we was talking about, well, when Clay was talking about the old family reunion we used to have, one of the very first ones I remember was in Southside, out at the community center, right up the street from Mama Sarah, and down the street makes sense because they was all right there together. The room as a whole was probably no bigger than this side right here. Your back is telling me. There was so much fried chicken, because KFC, we helped establish KFC. But I do remember one of the first ones, this red car come pulling up. And this red car had a white stripe on it. I was a little bitty kid. Yeah, you even know who I'm talking about him. He had this red car, it was sharper than a tack. He come driving up, had his hand on the sideway, and got out and said, I'm here for the family reunion. So, in honor of our patriarchs, Garfield, Davis Jean, Nicholson, certificate of recognition, this certificate is proudly presented to Garfield Nicholson. The best honor you can give to anyone is to show respect for their time. Your ancestors have brought you to this stage of life. Some of the most precious things you possess are your heart, your dignity, and your reputation. August 12, 2023, presented by the Davis family to Uncle Dave, Uncle Garfield, whatever y'all want to say, Davis Jr. Believe me, he'll be back after a while to have some words. I won't start him now because to keep the fun going. Many times whenever Uncle Dave and I are somewhere, especially for church or something like that, or if I have to do something in that dreaded time when we all primarily come together with each other, he'll come up to me and he'll say, keep it short, keep it short, keep it short. So guess what? When it came time to pray over the food, guess what I told him? Keep it short, keep it short. So right now we'll have the Big 7 Legacy. Now this is where So we'll have the Big 7 Legacy. What this was is we reached out to various family members to speak on behalf of the Big 7. The Big 7, and I think I have this in order after Annette and I actually talked a couple of nights ago. She has the ancestral census from 1930. Now, most of us wouldn't even thought about it in 1930. Well, even on Dave wouldn't even thought about it. But most of us wouldn't thought about it. So Junior Davis was the first, I believe he was born in 1910, 1911. So we're going to ask Faye, come on up, give us a few minutes talking about Uncle Junior.
Probably oldest granddaughter. Junior had 3 children.
and Angeline, Dean, which is our mom, and Robert. And he was born from 8/15/1911 to Thomas and Leona Davis. And I think they were born in Lewisburg. I think they lived in Lewisburg then. So, and he died on 11/13/2001. And that makes him, I'd say 93, 92, but I think that would be just 90. But anyway, he had, like I said, we're Dean's children, and she had 9. She had 9 children, 5 girls, and we had lost our brothers. We lost Jeff, and we lost our brother. But anyway, the things I remember about we got he worked at the Louisville Mill and over by the railroad track. And we went to his house all the time. And we were at the house like all the time. We stayed there most of the time. And he would come home and do like that, fly all over. Sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of times. He would come home and fly all over. And he would come in, I think he'd get showered, get his clothes on, eat, because he didn't eat outside the house. He didn't cook himself. He would bust at me because I like to go eat fish that. He was the one that I come all the way to that little church down on the corner just to get me fish because they all taste good. But then he would go in, sit in his favorite chair, do with his feet, look his favorite chair, and get that pie. He had the best smelling pipe. I used to love the smell of that pipe. So that's how I remember him and watching his father. Hey, he was in that house. He didn't care about what was going on outside. Like his chair was sitting where he was at. It wasn't by a window. He just watched his TV and he had his newspaper and that pipe. And we were noisy. As long as we didn't bother him, he didn't bother us. And until there were times he had to kind of get on to us. And anyway, but anyway, like I said, I remember him doing that. But his dad, I found out, Thomas Davis, I think he was buried at the Hopewell Cemetery. Yeah, I know that. And I go through it all the time. And I'm making trip up there to look at it. But anyway, like I said, I think I said enough. Hey, and like I said, I got all my sisters with me today. I know I got some of my sisters with me. I got 3 of my sisters. I got Pam. Well, I got Liz is next to me. I'm the oldest. Then there's Lee and Sai and Pam and whatever. And yeah, Mom is not here. She may come coming. She may come look later. My other brother James is coming back. But Leon is in Las Vegas, and we can't get him back this way. But that's about it.
Y'all can do better than that. Just remember out here. So next on the list of the Big 7 is Ain't Sis. Annette and I were talking the other night when we tried to get these ages lined up, and both of us learned something we never knew. I'm 56. I ain't gonna say how old Annette is, but I'm 56. But we learned something we never knew. I've always known to call Ain't Sis because that's what the family called it. And if we didn't call her that, it was always Meg Evans, right? Her real name, her first name was Wilma. I'm going to say most of us in here didn't even know that. And sadly enough, With Aunt Sis, she had one son, that was Lanny, if I remember right. And then she adopted Uncle Collis's son, which was, what was his name, Dave? I remember it, I can't remember. What was Uncle Collis's son? Come on now, y'all help me remember. Remember, he was severely burned. What was his name? No, Lanny was young. We're going to come up with Matt. Come on now. Yep. So anyway, we will have to get that out to everybody. I mean, the Facebook page will stay up, and we'll get some history on that and get that out. But sadly enough, you know, she only had the 2 kids, and everybody's passed on. So that's a broken link in our chain, and we need to try to heal that up some kind of way. I don't remember Lanny having it. I don't remember. Little Mac probably knows everybody. He covered more ground than anybody in here. He's been from Tennessee to Alaska probably. But anyway, please know that Aunt Sis was the second of the big 7, and her first name was Wilma. And like I said, as soon as we can get some information, we'll get that out on the Facebook page. Yep. The third one that was born is here and near me. That was Mama Sarah. That was Sarah Angeline Davis Nicholson Strode. So we got to make sure we get these names right. And the one thing I'll tell you guys about Mama Sarah, she was very particular about how you spelled her name. She would correct you in a heartbeat. She said it's S-A-R-A-H. And she would make sure she emphasized that H. Mama Sarah was born in 1914. She was probably 5'10-ish, 5, somewhere in that neighborhood. Because one thing about the Davis family heritage, if you're short, we're going to check you. We're going to get you DNA tested. Because them folks were tall. But Mama Sarah lived down the street in the South Side. That's where we used to have all the family reunions. She had Uncle Kenny, who is no longer with us. She had my mom, Nanny Mae. She then had Davis Jean. I can't get this Garfield thing on unless I'm talking about Stacy over there. And then the last one she had was Billy. And everybody remember Uncle Billy. He was the life of the party. And we lost him a few years ago as well. But Ronnie is here, Jane is here, Jock is here. So he's being well represented. Okay? So we'll move on from there. The next one is Ain't Ever. So that means Little Mac. You know what? I'm going to quit calling you Little Mac. You ain't Little Mac. Get on up here, Big Mac. What do you want to say? Don't talk about Ain't Ever. Good evening. Hey, love y'all. Ain't this some shit? Ain't it all right? Ain't it all right? That's my mom. That was my baby. That was my name. On the pin right there. Next Uncle Bud. That's my mom. Who I miss? I knew when Little Mac got the mic, it was going to be some fun, and he he was gonna shed a tear or two. But we love it. We love it. But he's a wealth of knowledge for the family. So y'all give him another hand. Give him another hand. All right. Now let's talk about. I'm sorry, my Indianapolis cousin. Let's talk about Garfield. I know we have it listed as James, but I'm here to tell you, all I've ever known was Garfield. And Garfield, for those of you who don't know, Garfield is a family name. Garfield went through 4 or 5 of our family members. So that is the family name. And I think the last Garfield that I know about is Stacy over here. You got any kids named Garfield? You got a kid named Garfield? So, to talk about Garfield or James, we're going to ask Sharon to come up. I actually called her while I was driving to work one day. And when I was telling her about it, she said, "You're going to make me cry." I said, "Don't worry about it. Little Mac don't beat you. Little Mac don't beat you. That's just fine to cry. Fine to cry."
Daddy went to California. Daddy went to the Philippines. He went to, I should have highlighted this. He went to Spokane, Washington, just to name a few, during that short time that he was in the military. But he came out and he met my mom in Columbia, Tennessee. And then they started the family in Columbia, Tennessee, and then they moved to Indianapolis, Indiana. And when he moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, the next brother listed, J.C., which we call the Kachina group there with him. And when we became a blended family there in Indianapolis, there was 2 brothers that lived in that household. We were raised together as one family, 2 whole families in that household. And Uncle G also, since there's no one here to represent him, the time we said just speak on him a little bit. He had 2 children also by the name of Johnny and Paul. And Johnny and Paul's mother died. When Johnny and Paul's mother passed away, they became like our brothers and sisters as well. Daddy just loved. He loved the Lord. It was all about family. I remember him giving my brothers lectures, telling them sometimes that I gave you all a good name. We came from strong stock. David's name is a good name, so don't go out and ruin it. He had Sister Hilda as well. And speaking on that, just take a look around at our David stock. What do we have here? So let's keep that name a good name. He was a man of dignity as well. Wherever he went and anybody that met him, they always had respect for him. The neighborhood respected him, no matter as to who it was. Speaking of him taking on children, I can remember Mama talking about Dean and Angeline. It was like Dean and Angeline was their child or their children as well. And I do believe that's after their mother passed. Mama considered Dean and Angeline to be theirs, but they took them in as well. And then came LT, which was Aunt Etta's son. He moved to Indianapolis as well. And that was like Mom and Daddy's son as well. It didn't make any difference. If it was family, it didn't make any difference to Daddy. Even if he was just part of the neighborhood or part of somebody's friend. So he was about dignity as well. And then Paul and John.
I'll say this much about Uncle Garfield. One thing I remember about him, that was the strongest looking man I ever saw when I was growing up. You want to talk about a rock. He used to scare me most of the time. I just speak to him and keep running. So, the next one was JC, but of course, Sharon has touched on that. That's on the G. I hit Jimmy up. I'm going to let him off the hook, cuz you off the hook. I hit him up and say something about on the G. But Sharon had touched on that. And she had mentioned he had a couple of sons, and all these things going on. But the one thing I'll say about Uncle G, remember I said something about if you're short in this family, we're going to get your DNA check? Uncle G was the tallest, correct? What? So Uncle G, correct me if I'm wrong, was he 7 foot or 7'2"? Which was it? Yep. So he was over 7 foot tall. So it all started with him with all the height. So the last one on the list, the last of the big 7, is Uncle Budges. Uncle Budges was the baby of the family. Uncle Budges grew up with Uncle Dave and all these other folks, and I think they thought they were more brothers than uncle and nephew. So where's Tony at? You gonna get you some support? You gonna get you some support of it? What Tony? So you want to talk about how?
Hey, I think I had it better than everybody. Because with me coming behind everybody else, I pretty much got everything. I was able to travel to Indianapolis, go to Columbia, go to Uncle Junior house, set up in there, got that wool sweat on, and I've been there sweating, talking about, man, it's hot in here. Granddaddy buzzing me, talking about be quiet. You know, went to Indianapolis one time, and little Mac rolled down there with us, and I'm like, man, I'm finna kick it. What Granddaddy tell me? Oh, you going back to the room with me. I'm a grown man. But he would not let me hang. And you know, that's a blessing. But I feel like just being around him and seeing how all the brothers interacted with their sisters, they made sure none of their sisters ever went without. I don't care if they're in Indianapolis or whatever the case may be. Those Davis men made sure that their sisters was well taken care of. And that's one thing that I can actually say that I was able to witness. You know, my granddad, Thomas Burgess Davis, he was born March 30, 1927. He was 91 years old when he passed. And he lived a very, very good life. He had 2 children. My mom, Ida Terrell, y'all know as Sweet Potato, she's passed away. He also had Tammy, please stand, Tammy Brooks. He had 3 grandchildren. Well, I say he had 2 grandchildren, but everybody thought I was his son. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought I was his son, but he had 3 grandchildren, and he had a bunch of great-grandchildren. But, you know, with Billy, I talked to Billy, but, you know, after Granddaddy passed, Billy made sure, you know, I got you. And I think he's done that for all of us. And when he said, I want to put a family union together, I think we all had to answer that call, no matter what capacity or what role you played in. You know, I want to sit here and stand in front of you guys today and say, I want to take my hat off to all the ladies that helped make sure this happened. I know, Danny, you played a major role, man, but these text messages I'm receiving while I'm at work from Ambrose and Greg and Maddie, and they get mad because ain't nobody responding. I just want to say I take my hat off to you guys. But, you know, just to sit back and just think about where we were, where we are today, I think we all look back and blessed. because this family, if they was here today and they were seeing us today together, you know, they would be very, very happy. You know, for everybody to come together, long way. The Davis family would be real happy. The only thing that I can tell you guys is what my granddad and my daddy always told me. Just make sure you take care of yourself. Take care of the ones that you love. That's one thing that I always call granddad. I've always told me. And the only thing I can tell you guys is to live by what the Davis family represents. And that's unity and strength. Unity and strength. Oh no, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. So just remember that. Unity and strength is what we're about. All right.
So why don't y'all give everybody a big hand? Get down, because this is the heritage. This is the Davis family heritage. I think Tony summed it up with saying, you know, stand for what the Davis family represents. We have a strong heritage. All of the big seven meant something to each and every one of us. They were strong people, they were strong-willed people, they were strong-minded people. But guess what? They instilled something in you, which is why each and every one of you are here today. So the Davis family, hats off to you, and continue to be what they would want you to be. One more round of applause. So, to kind of clear up what Mac is saying over here, we do have two of the spouses of the children of the Big Seven. Jane is here, who was Uncle Billy's wife. So give her a hand. The one thing I'll say about Uncle Billy, and I'm working in kind of reverse order here, is he made sure his wife was taken care of. Amen. Uncle Billy worked at Monsanto. When Monsanto went down, he had to go to Atlanta. He went down to Atlanta and spent 20-something years down there, if I remember right. But he made sure his wife was taken care of. He was home when he could get home. Ronnie was in there taking care of the house. So give Ronnie a hand, because he took care of the house. And then sitting over there is Aunt Chloe. Aunt Chloe. She's the one that's going to make sure this place look pretty. She had Amber and Chandrell lined up, making sure they were getting everything decorated properly. When we had this final Zoom call, Chandrell was over at the bedroom, and she said she was talking to Mama. I said, turn around, let me holler at Aunt Chloe. She said, you're going to be proud of these girls. These girls pulling this stuff off. I said, look at it. So look at the decoration. All this comes from some of the inspiration. It's the things that Aunt Chloe installed. Okay? So, Clover is the wife of Uncle Dave. I ain't saying no Garfield. She is the wife of Uncle Garfield. They've been married for a long time. Long time. I ain't even gonna try to figure up the numbers. Yeah, over 50 years. Wow. Give them a hand for being married for over 50 years. And you know what? The one thing I get to laugh about all the time is they've been together so long, they act alike, they get on each other's nerves, but they still love each other. That's the good thing. So let's move on so we can bring this to closure here and y'all can mingle a little bit. The youngest, well, let me back up. The Big Seven, I'll say this last little bit. The Big Seven, in your programs, there are photos of each and every one of them. The only one I did not have a portrait of was Aunt Sis. So if you look at that top picture, the four of the siblings together, that is Aunt Sis to the lower right. So all the rest of them in there, and then there's one picture that's on the Reboot page, and the primary one You know, you need to keep that, put that up somewhere and tell your grandchildren about it, your great-grandchildren, okay? So beyond that, we're going to take a minute just to represent or recognize the youngest family member. Here we go. Okay. What's the youngest? How old is the youngest kid this year? Carter's what? 2? 81. What's his name? Y'all make sure y'all see Grace and tell him congratulations, because you're the beginning of the new generation. Number 1. Okay? Youngest family member not present. Do we have anybody that knows of a family member that is not here, that is young, that is as young as Grace, 1 or less? Or is it 1? What you got? Great-grandchildren? How old? 9 months. All right, this Davis family is still rolling on. So y'all give these young kids a hand. Give them a hand. So right now we're getting down to the very end. This is the remarks, just remarks from the Tennessee Planning Committee. I'll say this and then I'm going to turn it over to Annette. There's been a lot of talk about trying to have another family reunion. And of course, it was spearheaded by the desires of Uncle David. So we finally been able to pull this all together. Annette was, even though she don't want to take it on, she was the head of the committee. Then the next thing I know, Clay was in the middle. Everybody was co-chairs. How about that? Okay. So the family has been trying to pull back together. So we're going to have the remarks of the Tennessee Planning Committee. And then after that, we'll have the closing, the final closing remarks, and of the whole program by our patriarch, Uncle David. Make it short. Make it short. Hey, the whole committee, come down here for a hot minute. Everybody that's on the committee.
But I just like to say that we are honored. I came back and I contacted them, started with Clay because he was the one putting the tree together. And then everybody else that I reach out to say, can you help me? Came with no question, without any problems. And when I tell you we got some talent in this family, oh my God, I can get orders all day. But they follow. They follow, and they Davises, and they like to talk. So what was the problem? I had to think, hold on, wait a minute, that's not bad. Let's get back to business. But at the end of the day, this lady right here has an incredible mind, a vision for what things should look like. She worked on that during the night, calling at 12, whatever. She's like, and then what do you think about this? Chandra, what do you think about this? And then Clay is like, I got a cousin already got the spot. Then I was like, how much money we need? Man, you got the money now. We need this much money. Tony, then got me some money. And whenever that happened, because we knew we had to prepare for you, and we did not want it to be a burden. We wanted you to come and enjoy us, our family, because that's what it's really about. So I want to say to each one of them, I could not have asked for more. Pam got the caterer. She started working on that. And this little cutie right here, she the youngest. I said, Amber, I'm not taking you, but what can you do for me? So she got the Facebook page, and everybody went to work. It took Sundays and Mondays for meetings and Zoom calls. But here we are. Thank God. So that's all I'm going to say, because see, I be down and I be close, you know. So I'm going to go on and leave it alone and let him come on up and do his thing. Oh, you going to say something? You going to get it?
Putting this thing together it wasn't easy. And the biggest thing, you guys, we know, the biggest thing that we were worried about running out when it came together. And it's put it up. So that's the thing. So I appreciate everybody that, put something in, but it turned out that, So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna hand this back to Danny. Danny, he was the man behind the dollar bills. He did that. He was the glue and the numbers guy that kept all of it together. I talk with him. Well, Danny, red sheet. That's what
So come on up, Uncle Dave. Come on up. Y'all give him a hand. I'll say if we've never made a member of the family happy, I think we, as the Davis family coming together for this time, I think we finally accomplished a dream that hasn't been accomplished for a long period of time. It's been about 30, 40 years since we've come together. But I think we've done Uncle Dave proud. I think you guys have done him proud by being here today. And make sure you come and say something to him. Now, he ain't gonna be able to keep his face straight because he's already crying over here. I know. So I'm gonna turn it over to him. Thanks, y'all. We enjoyed it. Uncle Dave.
Let's get this committee up in here. Next thing I want to say is Garfield Davis G. Nicholson. Davis. For 18 years, I always thought my name was Davis G. Nicholson. When I went to sign up, arrested, when I turned 18, and I went to the post office and signed up. And when I got in there, they wanted to know that I have a birth certificate. And I told them, no, I didn't have a birth certificate, but that's what my name was. So they looked it up, and he said, your name is not no Davis G. Nicholson. Your name is Garfield Nicholson. That's for 18 years before I really found out what my first name was. So when I went back home, I told my mother, she said, no, so your name is Davis G. Nicholson. She tried to change it to Davis G. Which on the birth certificate said Garfield Nicholson. And that's how all that got started. And most of the people know me by Davis G. Nicholson. The majority of the folks know me by Goose. When I was born and raised there, you go down there now, if anybody call me anything except Davis G. Nicholson or Goose, y'all won't know who I'm talking about. They don't even know my name's Garfield. So that's what I've been dealing with for 18 long years. But it's a blessing to be here and to see all of you all, young, old, nieces, nephews, aunts, cousins. It's just a blessing to see you. I have been praying. That this day was going to happen. God made it. God made this place. But it's good to see everybody. And like I said, I'm so happy. I am so happy. But I don't know really what to say. But let you know that I'm happy and God has been blessing all of us. I hope that you all keep this going on. Every year, every other year, because I don't know how long but I'm going to be. But God have blessed me. For 85 long years. Never been real sick. Have a few aches and pains every now and then. But I'm still moving. But I'm still moving. Able to get around. We were doing much keep up the good works. But let me say this. While you're doing the good works, keeping up the good works, lean and depend on God. He always sworn that will enable you to do the things that you do. Remember that, please. God is over all of this. To Him, we all are brothers and sisters in His life. Love one another. When the Bible says no greater love than a man lay his life down for a friend. Say this too. If any of you are sitting here right now, I'm going to tell you the best thing in the world that you can do is give your life to God. The one who made you, the one who created you. Give your life to Him. Serve Him. Serve Him in spirit and in truth. Lean and depend on Him. Because He told us He would put no more on us than we was able to bear. He's been good to us. Relax.
I didn't know until Daddy told me, but there's a reason why we've always had it on the second Saturday of August. And I'm going to let him tell you about doing scramble.
But the second Saturday, the second Saturday, we always had the second Saturday in August because at Hopewell, where our ancestors are buried, was the homecoming service there. So those that still remain after Saturday and could get up from Saturday night of bowling, because Uncle G was going to have you to bowling out. We went to Hopewell for service. And then after that, everybody just dispersed. But if you, Hopewell is on Highway 50, headed toward Lewisburg out of Columbia. It's a little small church on the right. They've taken great care of it. Some of you guys don't know this, but Hubbard, as we used to call it, Hubbard, used to always take care of cutting that place. And they're still taking care of it. So the graves of our ancestors, Mammy and Pappy, are still in great shape. So if you're ever down in Tennessee, or those of you guys that are in the Columbia area, you go down there and take pictures of it, post it on Facebook. At least that way you can see where the last resting places are. Those that spawned all of us. These boys trying to get away from me. And honestly, family, I have to apologize. As Uncle Dave was talking about, getting closer to God and things of that nature, this weekend is our annual convocation for our church. And we've been tied up all week, been tied up all day. I think we got out shortly after 2 and we got to head back. So I want y'all to enjoy yourselves, have a great time. Remember that we are a strong family. The Davises are strong. And the other thing I'll say about the Davis family is we have longevity. We don't leave here quick. Very few of us don't leave here quick. Most of the time, Uncle Dave is 85. Dean is 85. Uncle Junior was 90-something. 92 was 89. Mama Sarah was, I think, was 86. Uncle Budges was, he was 91. Uncle Junior was, how old when he passed? 91. So look at it. We're going to be around here a long time. So we got to see this generation and maybe 2 or 3 more. Okay? So by saying that, you guys have a great time, and this is the end of our program. Photos, and also you can get to go boxes.
Bottle